Thank you for joining us, America. Robert is in Boise, Idaho. Hey, Robert, how are you?
Better than I deserve, Dave. How's it going?
Just the same, sir. How can I help?
Okay, so here's my situation. I called in for some advice for like the next 2 to 4 years-ish, and my situation, I just graduated college. I'm 22 years old, and I start my job next week making $71,000 base pay, and I'm $19,000 in my own personal student loan debt, and then my parents took out additional loans in their name, totaling about another $19,000. No other debt, no credit cards or anything like that. We have about, my wife and I have about $12,000 in savings, and my wife will also, she's looking for a job as well. She'll probably be making between $30,000 and $40,000. So I'm trying to figure out what my best course of action is going forward. We also want to buy a house in the next 12 to 24 months. So I'm trying to figure out if all of this is feasible.
Okay. Are you responsible for your parents' loans?
I'm not responsible, no, but I feel kind of like an obligation to help them pay for it because, their finances aren't in the best order. And, me getting this decent job right out of college, I feel like, I'm responsible for that lump of money as well.
Mm-hmm. Did you have an agreement with them one way or the other?
Oh, what was that? Did
you have an agreement with them one way or the other?
No agreement.
What do your parents make a year?
It's basically a single income house. I'm guessing about $60,000.
Okay. All right. Cool.
But they have other expenses and debt as well. So.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Well, if you want to give your parents $20,000 as a gift, which is what you're discussing here, I would do that after you meet some of your basic financial goals.
Okay.
But that is not your debt.
Well, I know.
Okay, so, but if you want to give them a gift and help them out at some point in your finances, that's fine. But I think you've got some basic things you need to hit first, and that is you need to clean up the existing debt that you two have. Hopefully with $100,000 plus income, you can pay that off and use the savings that's there. You can pay that off very, very quickly, right?
I'm trying to pay that off. I'm in the grace period, so I'm trying to pay that off before my first payment, so I pay zero interest.
Right. Well, you said you had how much in savings?
$12,000 roughly. I mean, I have some investments, but $12,000.
What kind of investments do you have?
I have $2,000 in stocks.
Is it in an IRA?
No.
Okay. Cash that out and put it on the student loan today, and take your $12,000 down to $1,000 and put that on the student loan today, and then you'll be debt free in about 2 months. Then you build your emergency fund. Was that the only debt you had? Did I miss something? There was another debt.
No, we've been very fortunate. I bought a car very cheap for my aunt, and then my mother-in-law gifted my wife her car.
Okay, so you don't have any other debt other than your $19,000.
Well, no. I have a balance on my credit card right now just because we moved here, but I'm getting I got a moving incentive from my employer, so that'll be paid off as soon as I get that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, but you could pay it off too. And then when you get your money back, you could just put the money in the bank. All right.
Correct.
So, all right. The thing here is this: you have to get your head around the idea that having no debt is the shortest path to wealth. And so every time something comes up, we move here. I'm going to use a credit card. My employer's going to reimburse me, though. That's not okay. Okay, you have to stop that kind of stuff. And every time you get ready to buy something, you have to pay cash for it from this point forward. Completely avoiding debt is your big deal here. So I want you to clean up the credit card. I want you to clean up your $19,000. Wasn't there something else you told me other than the parents' $19,000? You had something else. Your wife had something? No other debt at all?
No. Just that, no, she doesn't have any debt either. I mean, she doesn't have any debt. I think I said that she's looking for a job.
Yeah.
That's somewhere between $30,000 and $40,000.
Yeah, I heard that. Okay, I guess I'm slipping. Okay, anyway. So I want you to clear up the credit card. I want you to clear up your student loan using your income, your $2,000 stock account, and 11,000 of your 12,000 thrown at these things immediately, and cut up the credit card and get a debit card. Then, as I want you to finish paying off your student loan, because you can't quite do it with that, and as fast as you can. And then as soon as you do that, I want you to build an emergency fund of 3 to 6 months of expenses. And then and only then do you start saving towards a house. But you'll be able to buy a house in about a year. When you guys get into the house and you have your emergency fund in place and zero debt, and you put a good down payment on the house, and you have a house payment that is no more than a fourth of your take-home pay on a 15-year fixed, then before you start investing, if you want to start and reach over and pay off your dad's loans, that's fine. At that point is when you would do that kind of family-type giving. But I want you to get into your house and be debt-free and have your emergency fund in place. And so probably a year after next before you pay off dad's loans. But that's cool if you want to do that. No problems. But they're not your loans, and so I would put them in a different place. It's charity. It's giving. It's generosity. And that's a good thing for you to do all that, but you put that in a different place in your process here. So that's how I would get after it. Hey, thanks for the call.